This piece here I'm almost done with. I'm just now trying to get the last bit of dust off of it. I use this tack cloth. I've already vacuumed it like 3 or 4 times, but this tack cloth is really good at picking up dust. And there's still a lot of dust there before I put a pre-stain on it, and then I'm going to stain it. From what I read, they recommend a pre-stain, and then 30 minutes later staining it just to keep it from blotching. And I've never stained furniture other than wood shop some 30 years ago. So I'm going to give that a try today. It's not a rare piece, so I don't really think I'll mess it up too badly. My daughter might keep it, or my son might keep it, and if they don't want it, and if I don't want it, I'll just put it back on Craigslist. I think I could sell it for $50. Somebody out there might buy it. You know, they want an old desk. That's what, I kind of like the old desks myself, but you know, it has a nice rounded look to it. And I still haven't been able to find one on when I was looking for it. The company went out of business, but I would have thought this would have been a popular model. It's made out of oak. Too bad they didn't make it out of walnut or teak. I think these are maple. These are oak, oak. And then this is oak. But it came out pretty nice. I couldn't get these big nicks out of it. I tried the ironing trick. That didn't work. So I'm not going to worry about it. It kind of gives it a little character. But it's an enjoyable project. My kids got a kick out of it. Unfortunately, they're young, and I don't let them do any of the staining. I don't let them do any of the heavy sanding. I just let them do hand sanding. I didn't let them do the stripping because that stuff's pretty dangerous. You don't want kids next to it. But other than that, I learned a lot. I learned some tricks you got to do, and there's a lot of blogs out there. This seems to be a very, very popular hobby with women now, except they're all painting it. I don't want to paint it. I found this one. This is going to be my next project over here. I found it on Craigslist a couple weeks ago. It was in the garden section for whatever reason, and I got this thing for 80 bucks, which is a little expensive considering the problems it has with it. The top is pretty beat up. Somebody tried to strip it, and it has some water stains. But if you look, I looked online, and this thing goes anywhere from $2,000 to $2,000 depending on the condition. eBay it's like $200 to $400. So I don't feel too bad. It'll probably cost me another $50, $60 in materials. And I'll show my kids this one. I'm going to keep this one. I've always liked mid-century furniture, and I like the floating desk top. I'd like to get another one, but a little bit bigger. This one's kind of small, but I have a teak desk I got on Craigslist. Boy, Craigslist is my middle name. And I got that one a year ago, and it's a beautiful teak desk I got up in Pensacola. That was a bit of a drive, but it was a bargain price. And I really like that desk, but this one has its appeal too. So I'm going to get this one online, and maybe my daughter will want it. She has a nice desk now, but it's you know, made a couple years ago. It's all fiberboard. It's cheap. But this, she might want to keep this one. I'm trying to get something that maybe my kids will keep the rest of their lives and look back and say, hey, me and my dad did this, you know, 30, 40 years ago. Or they'll sell it the first chance they get. Then I got this piece. I was at a lady's house looking at a different piece of furniture, and she had a garage full of stuff. She flips furniture, which seems to be really, you know, a big thing now on Craigslist. People buying and turn around flipping it. She had tried to correct the water stains. It has some black water stains, so you got to use bleach. She tried sanding it down and didn't work. And I paid 40 bucks for it, but I kind of like the design of it. I think I can fix this. I went online. You got to use a product called wood bleach, and it's not as bad as a product. You got to be careful with it, of course, like any chemical. But I'm going to basically bleach the whole top. From what I read, you can do one section, but the bloggers that I seem to know what they're doing said just bleach the whole top. That way you get it all one uniform color, and then go back and stain it, and it pretty much will work. After you bleach it, stain it, or sand it down, and then stain it. Even though it's a veneer, it's a thicker veneer, better quality veneer from the 60s rather than the newer stuff. So I got a little wiggle room on maybe 220 sandpaper, and I should be able to get most of that black water ring out of there, but I'm going to use a black walnut stain, so whatever's left, I think it'll be pretty much gone. I might try to get this a really high sheen on the top. I saw this one guy, he did that. It came out really beautiful, and I'm going to try that. This is like an experiment piece. I think a lot of these pieces that I bought, this one, and there's another piece over there, they're kind of old beat up furniture, so if I don't really do it perfectly, it doesn't really bother me. You know, I could always sell it, or you know, put it in my house, or just take it to the Salvation Army. But rather than get, you know, maybe one day I'll stumble upon a really nice vintage piece of furniture mid-century, and I'll have the knowledge and the practice to do it correctly. I still favor mid-century furniture because it just, I don't know, it just has a timeless design. So other than the junk on it, but that's it.